Hi there. Welcome to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. Thank you for popping in and for taking the time and for incredible support. Today's title is The Sounds of Silence. One of the inspirations for today's title was conversations that I've been having with friends and family recently about mm, how we show up, whether we're showing up with our true voices, whether we're waiting for private conversations that we have with each other, whether we're not speaking at all. Hi, Jen. Thank you so much for popping in. Hi, Eugene. Welcome back. Thank you both for joining me. And as always, the right energies in the house. And I'm really grateful for that. One of the interesting things is to pick titles and topics, and today's today's titles based on a song, "The Sounds of Silence" by Simon and Garfunkel. If you haven't had a chance and you're on LinkedIn, the link is in the chat, and I'll put it on Meta and other platforms so you can catch it shortly. But one of the things in "The Sounds of Silence" is the reminder to not be silent and to really show up, because some people really need to hear from us right now. And I think of this also from the perspective of watching the Emmys last night, and Jelly Roll sang a song, "I Am Not Okay." And it was in the in memoriam section for those of you who haven't heard it yet. And sung with tremendous amount of emotion. And the title of the song is "I Am Not Okay." And you see people all over. Oh, what an interesting song choice. Is he trying to tell us something about himself? Hey, Emma, welcome back. It's the reminder that occasionally some of us are not okay. And it seemed to me such a more than appropriate song choice during a segment on grief. Because as you experience it, whether you're experiencing grief while you're in the process of preparing to honor and celebrate someone's life, or in the process of participating in their health journey and cheering them on as they're fighting the good fight, as they're trying to show up with their best. And it's a reminder that sometimes we're really silent about it. That song, "I Am Not Okay," is a reminder, as many would say, to check in with those who may not be okay, whether they're experiencing grief, whether it's an awareness month that might be stimulating some memories, some trauma. We need to reach out and really show up for each other in a conscious, deliberate way. And I've been I love a post that Emma had put up earlier today about the reminder to stop playing small, because we all do it. Sometimes we play small in the process of supporting others in their lives, and they need to hear from us. So I really appreciated Jelly Roll's song last night. And thank you, Sean, because you're really, really right. That song and his lyrics are really, as Sean said, even more true today in 2024. Some people didn't hear it the same way. And maybe it means an opportunity to share the song with some others, to share his voice with others, to share the heartfelt part. But really, we don't necessarily show up full out. Happy Monday, Lisa. Thank you so much for popping in. And to those of you joining us on replays, please let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know something that sticks with you, something that you'd love to inspire others to share, to remember, to really think about. And I appreciate that, because we have a choice. We can let things happen. We can show up and not be fully present. We can show up and not be fully aware. Some of the conversations I've been having recently with others, some are like, wow, occasionally getting really quiet. Hey, Karen, thank you. Welcome back. That, Sean, yes. As one who previously battled depression and suicidal thoughts, this resonates deeply. We were talking about Jelly Roll's song last night on the Emmys during the in memoriam section, I Am Not Okay. And it's a real reminder as we show up today to talk about the sounds of silence. We're not sure when to reach out. We're not sure with discernment. We're not sure of the timing. We're not sure it's the right pace. As we watch the bells toll and the names read in memoriam on September 11th, I always tune in for the names. It's a reminder to stay really present. It's a day when I usually don't reach out to too many people. I don't, I make calls to those I know who are alone, who are also watching the names being read, who are remembering where they were on September 11th, who may have been celebrating birthdays or anniversaries on September 11th, and now the days really changed. And those also who are watching who are alone. So the sounds of silence is, what can we do to remove isolation from each other? And the song starts off, Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'll let you know last night I had some of the most interesting dreams that I cannot remember, kind of like a movie. It's a real reminder that the little things that we absorb really stay with us. And that checking with others, whether they're clients, whether they are former clients, whether they are friends, whether they're family members, just reach out. Let someone know you hear them, you see them, you feel them, that you're around, not just during the awareness month or the anniversary of them losing loved ones, or on a day when something unspeakable happened, but to really remember we really see the battle. Sean Michael is so sharing it. And Sean, you got to come join me one day and let's make it happen. Many are looking for deeper connection and they're looking to avoid the superficiality, but they're not showing up to support others who are struggling. They're not showing up to support others who are sharing. They're not showing up to support others to let them know that they're heard. I really appreciated last week. I got a wonderful message from someone I have not had the conversation to speak with recently and ever. Sent me a message out of the blue just to say, hey, to let me know, hey, I heard you, I saw you, I felt you. And that's not something many of us normally do. But we're in a world now, a political world, where I appreciate comments from friends who are living in other countries who are reaching out and saying they're holding space for us. They're really waiting to see in this struggle for what they see or what they describe as good and evil, for what they describe as justice or injustice, as some are struggling for human rights and others are wondering, Mel, what in the world do you mean when you put in the posts about a fragile world? And we have not had a conversation about the ceilings, the walls, the barriers that some are experiencing. And for those who don't know me, I'm on a board for social justice. I'm on a board for human rights, for teen dating violence, for intimate partner violence, for domestic violence. Because my Nana, who always told me, guard my light, and I really didn't understand why she said that. But inside, I really knew. We just never had the conversation. And as a survivor of domestic violence, she knew when your light changed. As Sean's saying, when wasn't a sunny day, something had taken away your spark, your voice, changed your vibe, changed your energies. We're in that kind of world where it's happening every second. As a choice of whether we acknowledge it, I will never forget on September 11th, working in Manhattan, and I was lucky to be the wife of a now retired first responder who was working on September 11th and who had always said to me, honey, one day I'm going to call you at work and you need to come exactly where I tell you to come, exactly when. And without creativity, without, without, without argument, just do it. And I'm so grateful. But I learned that day as I went to the bank to get some cash for friends or coworkers because it was a couple of days before payday. And I knew they had to walk home, and I needed to make sure that if they got where they needed to be, they'd have cab fare. If they could find it, they'd have bus fare. Um, Allison was a busy mom, had to pick up her 3 kids and walk across a bridge with my coworker. Clarissa, I want to thank you for taking great care of each other that day. But as I walked out to go to the bank, I saw all these people crying and people walking past them. And I remember thinking, I didn't have my purse, always had tissues in it, but watching people, watch people cry, watching people in pain, and they just kept going. And somewhere in that day, those sounds of, as Sean was saying about striving for deeper connection and conversation, watch people just walk past other people, not acknowledging their emotions. This happens in every room we're in, every live room, every virtual room. And it happens in every room, regardless of whether we acknowledge the amount of emotions or stress that are in that room. And I really appreciate you, Sean. I see you. I love you. I'm here for you. It's one of the sounds that we could use to break the sounds of silence, to say any one of these things to another person in an audio message, in a video message, in a in any sort of message, just to let others know we're here to help them eliminate isolation and to take the time and to make the time and to create the space to just say, hey, that somewhere in there, yep, Jen, it's a reminder we need to keep sharing what that silence sounded like, what it felt like, what, and Jen, my experience compared to others' experience, just a drop in the bucket, just a reminder, human to human, that at, at any time in our life, we can experience fear, uncertainty, um, some sort of discomfort. We need help. We need to be heard. We need to be seen. We need to be felt. And those sounds of silence just increase the gap of the isolation. They increase the gap of the disconnect. And Yep, Emma. And exactly. Yes, Jen, no comparing trauma because we've all experienced it in some way, shape, or fashion. And those who haven't experienced trauma yet, bless you for the purity and bless you for the grace that you're able to share with others of having lived a life without any trauma, without any fear, without anything that causes you to hold your breath, without anything that messes with your step, with your faith walk, with your grace, with how you show up. We hope to hold space for each other in a world of incredible grief, in a world where Jelly Roll singing a song, I Am Not Okay, is questioned about the choice of the song. It's questioned by somebody who may not have an understanding that the person that they just walked past is not okay, that the person in the next cubicle is not okay, that the person in the next Zoom room, the next audio room, the next live room, the next conference, the next teacher, next person you see in a parking lot, next parent you see struggling, next person in the store who's not sure how they're paying the next bill. There are a lot of people who could hold up a sign today and other days. And yes, Sean, it's, I appreciate you all about not comparing scars. And they say it all the time, don't share from the open wound from the salt. And one of the things that we can do is just continue to have conversations and really acknowledge what deeply impacts others. To really show up in a space, in a gap, to create an opportunity to let another person know how much we care about them. I'll have friends and family asking later, what in the world are you as a coach who helps leaders have successful events and helps inclusive leaders create conversations? What are you doing talking about the sounds of silence? It's the reminder we need to have these conversations more rather than less, because there is somebody somewhere who today needs us not to be silent, who today needs us to show up with love, with light. I appreciate in your comments sharing September 11th experiences. We need to share them often because there are some who don't understand what it's like when your safety is threatened. They don't understand what it's like to not necessarily have someone who's coming home to you today, or that you're looking at the empty chair, and that you're trying to find a way to celebrate life with love, to celebrate and honor their memories with love. So today, with the protein shake that I should have opened up ages ago, let's have a virtual toast to each other. Let's have a toast to those who aren't here with us because others were silent. Let's have a toast to those who are willing to have conversations and always ready to show up and say that they care. And I appreciate your comments about everything going silent and about living in a world with fear. And sometimes this world feels like that day, September 11th. Last week, I wore my voting is my black job shirt. And Next week, maybe I'll show up in another interesting t-shirt. And I appreciate you for showing up to help me live and remember to keep writing the book Brave Conversations about the Undiscussables. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you holding the space. And I appreciate your grace in always showing up to support. And yes, Karen, a toast to the bravery that was displayed in so many ways, in so many unseen ways, and continues to be. To those who are brave and show up to support with love and grace and life, and just thank you for that. Thank you to those who always listen and always show up with love and always show up with courage and are always fighting for others. We thank you. Thanks, Celia, for your great comments lately. Thank you, Martin Stark. Thank you, Gabe, for sharing others' events so others discover places to soar and to flourish. And I hope that you have a magnificent day filled with opportunities and possibilities, and that you have an opportunity to reach out to somebody who really needs to hear your voice today, who can really use your support and your care. And I thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing this live or part of it with somebody, and for your smiles across the miles. Have a magnificent day filled, hopefully, with peace. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, and please stay in touch and take great, great care until we connect again. If you need an ear, a hand, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you for reaching out across the miles and showing how much you care. Take great care.